Hi everyone and welcome back to our channel. For this week's video I'm going to be showing you how to make these super cute rose keychains. I hope you will enjoy it and let's get started. You're going to need some yarn in two colours, in green and a colour of your choice. Then a 3.5mm crochet hook, some scissors and a darning needle. And you can also use a metal keychain, but that's completely optional. Starting with your pink yarn, make a slip knot. We're now going to chain 55. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. So go ahead, pause the video and make your 55 chains. So I've just finished making my chain. For row 1, begin by counting back 7 chains. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Into that 7th chain, make 1 double crochet. So yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop. Yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops, and yarn over, pull through the last 2 loops. And you'll see this has created a little gap for us. Now, skip the next 2 chains. Into the 3rd, make 1 double crochet. Now chain 3. And back into that same chain, make 1 more double crochet. So that's back into that same chain that you just worked into. And you'll see this has created a V-stitch, and we're going to repeat this along our chain. So as before, skip 2 chains, and into the 3rd make your double crochet. Then chain 3, and back into the same chain, make another double crochet. So you can go ahead and pause the video and you can repeat that along your chain. And you'll make your last V-stitch in the very last chain. And also don't worry if your chain starts to curl around. That's exactly what you want it to do. So I'm just coming up to my very last V-stitch, and you'll see I'm making it into the last chain. So I have my double crochet, my chain 3, and then my double crochet again. And this is what my chain now looks like. So you can see it's really starting to curl. And as you can also see, we have our V-stitches. That's what it should look like. To finish the row, chain 3 and turn your work. Now, if you have a look at your row, you'll see that there's a gap where the chain 3 is, and then another smaller gap in between them. So that's this one here. We're going to be working into both of these gaps. So to begin, into this first chain 3 space, make 4 double crochet. That's into this chain 3 space here. So here's 1, here's 2, here's 3, and here's 4. Now into this gap between, make 1 single crochet. So that's in that little gap there. Into the next chain 3 space, make 5 double crochet. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, and finally our 5th one. In the next gap between, make a single crochet. Now, for the rest of the row, you're going to make 7 double crochet into every single chain 3 space, and 1 single crochet in the smaller gaps between. So in this gap, we have 7 double crochet. And then 1 single crochet in this small gap here. So you can go ahead and pause the video and continue making 7 double crochet into each chain 3 space and 1 single crochet in between. And I'll meet you back when you get to the end of your row. So I'm just coming up to the end and I'm finishing off here with 1 single crochet. Now you should just have 1 big gap remaining. Into this gap, you're going to make your 7 double crochet and your single crochet. And this is just going to finish off our rows. From here you can then fasten off and you can cut your yarn, and you want to leave quite a long tail end because we're going to be using this to sew our rows together. Now, to turn this crochet chain thing into a rose, you want to find the end that has the smaller treble clusters. From there, you want to simply start to roll it in on itself like this. And it will, because your chain has naturally curled, it will sort of fall into place. It will feel quite natural turning it in on itself like this. So you can see here in the back, it's sort of just swirling around quite nicely. And this might take you a few goes. It took me 3 or 4 times before I kind of got the hang of it. So you can see here, curling it in, and it's now looking something like a flower. It's starting to look a bit more like a rose. From here, you want to then thread your darning needle with your very long tail end, and we're just going to make some straight stitches across the base of our rose. There's no maths behind this. You're just going to make as many as you think your flower needs. And you want to make sure when you're doing this that you catch every single layer. Otherwise, your rose is going to uncurl. So you can see here, I'm just weaving my darning needle through every single layer, from side to side, all over. It doesn't really matter how messy it looks as well, because we're going to be covering it later on. And you want to just do this until you feel that your rose is nice and sturdy and is not going to come undone. So I've just finished my sewing through my rose, and to finish off, I just like to poke my needle up through the top of my rose just to secure it, and then you want to cut it with your scissors, and you can kind of poke any loose threads back in to hide them. And that's it. That's now the first part of our keychain done. Now, taking your green yarn, make a slip knot. And this is going to be to create the leaves and the keychain part. From here, chain 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Now find that very first chain and make a slip stitch into it. So you're going to yarn over, pull through and pull straight through the loop on your hook. And if you open this up here, you'll see that this has created a little ring for us. Chain 1. Working into this ring, make 6 half double crochet. So that's where you pull through all 3 loops at once. So here's our second one. Here's our third, our fourth, our fifth, and our 6th half double crochet. And I like to pull my tail end, and this will just help close your ring up. From here, find the very first half double crochet and make a slip stitch into it. And this is going to close our round. From here, chain 1. Now this doesn't count as a stitch, and don't turn your work. Into every single stitch, make 2 half double crochet. So you can see here's my first one, and then back into that same stitch, my second one. And you're going to repeat that all the way around. So that's making 2 half double crochet into every single stitch. And you'll have 12 half double crochet by the end of the round. At the end of your round, find your first half double crochet and slip stitch into it. Now for our last round, chain 1. Again, this doesn't count as a stitch. Into your very first stitch, make 2 half double crochet. So here's one, and here's our second one. Into the next stitch, make 1 half double crochet. And you're going to repeat that all the way around. So in your next stitch, you're going to make 2 half double crochet, and into the following stitch, you're going to make 1 half double crochet. So you can see I have 2 in this one, and then I'm going to make 1 in the next one. And for the end of round 3, you should have 18 half double crochet in total. And as before, find your first half double crochet and slip stitch into it to close the round. And this is what your little circle should be looking like. From here, we're now going to go and create 2 leaves. So to do this, chain 9. Into the second chain from your hook, make 1 slip stitch. So that's in the second chain from your hook. In the next chain, make 1 single crochet. In the next stitch, make 1 half double crochet. In the next 3 stitches, make 1 double crochet. So that's in the next 3 stitches. So here's 1 double crochet. Here's our second double crochet. And our third double crochet. In the next stitch, make 1 half double crochet. And in your very last chain, make 1 single crochet. And that's our first leaf. Now, just to close it up, find that very same stitch and make a slip stitch into it. So that's in the very same stitch. Then make a slip stitch into the next stitch. Crikey, that's a lot of stitches. We're now going to repeat everything we've just done to create the second leaf. So, chain 9. Into the second chain from your hook, make a slip stitch. In the next chain, make a single crochet. In the next chain, make 1 half double crochet. In the next 3 chains, make 1 double crochet. So here's 1, here's 2, and here's 3. In the next chain, make 1 half double crochet. And in your last chain, make 1 single crochet. Then, as before, make a slip stitch into the same stitch and the following stitch. Now, if you're using a metal keychain, which is completely optional, you want to fasten off here and leave a very long tail end for sewing purposes. If you're not, however, from here, chain 60, or however many chains you want, depending on how long or short you want your keychain to be. Now, slip stitch back into that very same stitch. So that's this one here. And then from here, you can chain 1 to fasten off, and you can cut your yarn, leaving a nice long tail end. Now, to assemble our pieces together, you want to take your rose and your green base, and you want to align it to the back. Then I have my darning needle here, and you want to simply just sew around the very edge of your green base, catching up a small part of your rose. It's just like this. So I'm sewing through my rose, and I'm also sewing through my green base. And you want to do that all the way around until it's nice and secure. So I've just finished sewing my pieces together, and this is what it looks like. And that's it, you now have your very own rose keychain. If you like this tutorial, please give us a thumbs up. I know you hear it all the time, but we would absolutely love it if you could subscribe to our channel to stay up to date with all of our new tutorials and videos. If you have any comments, please let me know down below. And as always, happy crocheting!